Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. And that topic is OnlyFans Quick Start Success Guide Part 2. So last episode, I discussed how to get your OnlyFans off the ground quickly and successfully in the first 4 days. This episode, I'm going to go over the rest of your first week on the site, as well as preview a few tips for the rest of the first month on the site. All right, so let's jump right into it. So I want to quickly review the first 4 days. And as you know, you can go on to the SEO Bounty blog and read along at seobounty.com/132. Again, that's seobounty.com/132. And you can read along all 7 days worth of tips and tricks. All right, so let's go back over the first 4 days. So what you want to accomplish on day one, we went over picking a good username, also filling out your display name, and then pinning an initial post on the top of your OnlyFans page. And then on day two, I went over creating a Twitter account for OnlyFans, and then creating a Reddit account for OnlyFans as well, and then creating a links page, either a link tree or all my links, for all the links you're going to create throughout the week. And then on day 3, I went over creating a full introduction pinned post on your OnlyFans, then also creating a Twitter pinned post, as well as creating a Reddit pinned post. And then for day number 4, I went over organizing your content into categories. And I went over all the different categories that you should organize your content in on day 4 in the previous episode. So if you haven't listened to the previous episode, part 1, I highly recommend you do that. All right. So now on to day number 5. So day number 5 is all about starting to post. So now that you've spent the last few days getting yourself set up, it's time to actually start planning your actual content posting schedule. You need to keep a consistent schedule of both posting content on OnlyFans and on social media sites in order to grow your following. This day should be spent getting your calendar ready as well as beginning your content posting. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is create your social posting calendar. One very important thing to have in your arsenal of success is a social media posting calendar. You can either create 2 different work calendars, one for OnlyFans posting and another for posting on your social media, or combine the 2 into one powerful calendar. Even if the calendar is pretty rough to start with, you want to go ahead and start working on it today. You might end up posting randomly for a while before you get the hang of the best times to post, but for now, begin to create a skeleton of your future work calendar. Make sure to include tasks that both take a short amount of time to complete, as well as longer-term tasks that you may need to work on over several days of posting. So I have discussed in length creating work calendars on the podcast before, and if you haven't listened to my episode about creating a work calendar, I highly recommend that you do that as well. Okay, so then you want to begin posting from your schedule on your social media and your OnlyFans. All right, so now that you have laid out the foundation of your OnlyFans page with a good username, display name, and pinned post, you can begin to schedule and post directly onto the page. So this should hopefully be based on the calendar that you've made for yourself. But if you decide to skip that step, just make sure that you are posting on a regular basis and that you are mixing up the type of content you post on your OnlyFans so it doesn't become stale. You also can begin posting on Twitter and Reddit now that you have both of those accounts set up. With Twitter, you want to start posting content that you hope to have retweeted. When it comes to Reddit, you want to research a few good subreddits that you can begin posting to that will likely be seen by a lot of viewers who would be into subscribing to the kind of content you produce on your OnlyFans page. All right, so this day number 5, is all about posting. Now, you obviously want to also, before you post, look at what other creators are doing. So if you're not used to a particular platform, if you're just using Twitter for the first time or Reddit for the first time, take a little bit of time, to look into, say, a subreddit and see what kind of posts are doing well. That little bit of time will save you a lot of time as far as posting and the success of your posts. So you want to go ahead and evaluate some of that as well today. All right, so on to day number 6. So day number 6 is all about evaluating your progress so far. So if you've listened to a lot of episodes of this podcast, you'll know that I'm a big proponent of stopping and evaluating your progress. Running hard in a race is important, but running hard in a race in the opposite direction of the finish line is a disaster. That's why this is a good day to look over what you've done so far. All right, so here are the main areas to evaluate. 1, if possible, view your OnlyFans page as a fan. So now that you've begun posting and promoting yourself, you want to be able to see what your potential fans see. So go ahead and create a fan account on OnlyFans. It is free. And give yourself a free trial of your site. Then walk through finding your link on Twitter or Reddit and pop onto your page. Do you like what you see? Also, look at your page before you're able to go behind the paywall as well. So before you click on the free trial link, you want to say, okay, is this appealing? Would someone want to subscribe to this page? Do you like your banner and images, or do they look distorted and your marketing message looks unclear? Don't let the train get too far off the track before you really analyze your page. Okay, number 2, look at other creators. While you are using this fan account, go ahead and look at other creators who are similar to you as well. Does your content stack up to what they are producing? Look at creators with similarly priced pages as well to make sure that your page price is competitive. When you go and look at other creators, you will possibly come back feeling defeated, which is a good thing. Nothing improves a business like a good quick punch in the gut that your competitor is eating your lunch. You'll want to improve, and you'll make the kind of changes needed to become a greater success. All right, then number 3, be realistic about your content. So are you posting content that is interesting and of high quality? Is the lighting and positioning of your pictures good? Be critical of your pictures and videos because others will be as well. Of course, when you first start out, your content might be a bit dodgy in places, but you want to go ahead and look at it and make notes on how you can improve and how you can make yourself better. Remember, you're not supposed to be perfect right now, but you do want to be able to make better and better content as you move along in your OnlyFans process. So those are just some of the ways that you should be evaluating what you've already done. And certainly, you don't want to stop at day number 6. So I would say after your first month, you also want to go and evaluate, what kind of progress you've made, as well as going back and looking at your content and seeing if it's stacking up against other creators. And certainly if you decide to make price adjustments, you'll be a lot more confident because you'll say, okay, I've seen creators who are charging $10 or $20 for their OnlyFans subscription, and they're producing in line the same amount of content, the same quality of content that I am, so I can go ahead and raise my price. And so basically, evaluation is very, very important, and it should be an ongoing process for you. All right, and then lastly, day number 7. All right, so now that you've evaluated your progress so far, it's time to start looking into the future with your day 7 activities. These are going to be the areas you might not have as much time as you'd like to for right now, but they will eventually pay dividends in the future. And number 1 would be create your TikTok page. Right now, TikTok is a huge catch-22 for OnlyFans creators because TikTok hates OnlyFans. I mean, honestly, it really hates any site that takes you away from TikTok, but it particularly has issues with OnlyFans because there is adult content on OnlyFans. So even the mention of OnlyFans or anything adult-related can get you booted off the platform. Many creators have been kicked off the site half a dozen times, and they keep coming back. They do this because this is where all the eyeballs are right now, and the traffic is hard to pass up. So much like a character on Game of Thrones, don't get too attached to your TikTok account because it might just die suddenly out of nowhere. So on day 7, it's a good idea to begin your first TikTok account with the intent of funneling people to your OnlyFans. So I've gone over an entire episode about creating your TikTok thirst trap. So if you have not listened to that episode, I highly recommend it. It's basically where you're creating a page just for your OnlyFans, but basically it's a funnel. So you're posting with the intent of eventually people finding either your link tree or whatever page you've decided to put all your links on, and then finding your OnlyFans. So I highly recommend that you listen to that or read that article on the blog, and because it's a good way to help you prevent being, banned on the site, but also getting some initial subscribers. All right. Next, you want to create promotional images using Canva. So if you haven't already, this is a good day to start playing around with photo and video editing software like Canva. You are going to need to get decent at creating graphics for promoting what you are doing on OnlyFans on and off the site. There are many free and premium graphics software and apps that you can use to do this work. You may want to explore the App Store on your phone to find the software that works best for you. Once you do, start playing around with the features so you'll be able to create cool effects and images that both improve upon the quality of your pictures while also acting as potential promotional pieces. It's a good idea to spend a few hours working with these programs, as it will really enhance the kind of quality content that you make. One other note is to learn to make your own watermarks in these programs, as OnlyFans watermark sometimes isn't enough to protect you against easily cropped out images. So basically, you also can create your own watermarks and within the images that you create in these particular app programs, which is a good idea, especially if you plan on doing custom content, because as I've gone over before in previous episodes, if you watermark to specific custom content and it gets leaked, you can figure out exactly who you sold that content to. All right, next would be to begin interacting with fans. So lastly, on this day, you should begin the long journey of interacting with your fans. That means getting out of your DMs and actually responding to comments on your OnlyFans page and in the different social media sites that you have now spent a week building up. So I find that interacting with fans in the beginning is the best way to keep people involved and engaged with your page. It is often the one advantage that new creators on OnlyFans have over older creators. Once someone is very established or has consistent income coming in, they just aren't as hungry as they once were, and fans can tell. As a new creator, you can